It's the most wonderful vlog of the year. Happy Vlogmas 2025, boys and girls, and I'm going to be so for real with you. I am not prepared right now. I did not mean to start the vlog right now, but crazy things are happening and I need to tell you about it. It's December 1st. I just had food delivered. I didn't order this. And I'm very confused. A whole order from Starbucks. It has my name on it though, so it's for me, right? And a bacon sausage wrap, boys and girls. We have an iced venti brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso and a bacon sausage wrap. Oh, woo! I didn't order this. Wait, I probably shouldn't have drank that. Wait a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, boys and girls, we are safe. Turns out there was a fluke in the system. I apparently ordered this. I do remember trying to order this exactly 9 days ago. And I was in a rush, and I was on my lunch break. I was working from home. This is my office. Yes, Mr. Broadway, is that you? Yes. Take it to Broadway. That's what I do. I tried to order this, and then the order didn't go through. I said, ah! And then I was in such a rush that I continued on and carried on and whatever. Apparently, I scheduled this to be, the order didn't not go through. The order went through, but I had scheduled it to be delivered today at 5 p.m. So this is fun. Wait, I probably shouldn't be drinking this if it's 5 p.m. Let's get serious for a second, okay? Boys and girls, this is my 7th annual Vlogmas. And some of you are still here. And those of you who are still here are being forced to be here because you are related to me. But I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. This is really special. Before we get any further, I want to take 1 second to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I know you're all wondering. I know you're asking. The decorations aren't up yet, y'all. We got to wait for Jake to come back to decorate for Christmas. You have to come with us to decorate for Christmas. I don't have anything out yet. This is the closest I could get to a Santa hat. That's the true elephant in the room. I know you thought I was going to talk about that. This little Devo hat, yeah, it's called Jake and the Boys Were Devo for Halloween. So now we own this. And I like to go live on TikTok. And I wear my costumes and my wigs like this. And we all know the lore. If you don't know the lore, last year was my 6th attempt at Vlogmas, and it was the only time I've ever completed Vlogmas all the way through, okay? I must say though, last year's Vlogmas was kind of insane because I went viral in the middle of it. On December 6th, I posted something called the olive oil story, and my life changed. For those of you who are new, welcome to my Vlogmas. For those of you who have returned, I'm so sorry. We're sitting through year 7 of this. So my Vlogmas is a little unlike most regular Vlogmases. It's going to be filled with Christmas cheer, very loud for all to hear, but at the same time, I got a life. I love Christmas. Sagittarius season is when I'm at my most powerful. What happened last Sagittarius season? I went viral. Okay, I'm talking 115 million views, baby. All those videos combined, it was a 3-part series. Olive oil girl. So what does this Sagittarius season have in hold? I don't know. I'm legitimately scared. I just tinkled a little bit when I thought about it. I got chills. Oh, I just got chills. Oh, something crazy is going to happen. Word of the day. Is something crazy going to happen? Please give me an answer. Something. Nothing in my hand. Is something crazy going to happen? Which one's calling to me? Wait. This one right here. What's this one? Play! I'm gonna play my Switch the whole month. I like to start out December 1st with a lot of contemplation and a lot of reflection on the year that we just finished. This past year, 2025, has been a complete flop. Like, I feel like it's been a failure on my part with furthering my career. I'm not really proud of the level of hustle that I've put in. But a lot of exciting things have happened this year. And I'm going to talk you through it. We're going to laugh, we're going to giggle, you're going to get to know me. If you already know me, you're going to get to know me better, okay? Why is my door buzzing? No. Okay. I just got another delivery. Stop. No way. This is so funny. You guys, I'm dead. I just got another delivery. When I was working with my boss today, I told her that I wasn't feeling very well. I didn't really have an appetite. I didn't know what I was going to do for dinner. She sent me dinner from her favorite restaurant, which is a very fancy restaurant, the Leopard at Des Artistes. Every time we go, it's her favorite place to go, and we go there all the time. And there's like these very famous murals on the walls of like naked ladies. And every time we go, her husband's like, I got a great view. Okay. So I have some kind of soup, and there's toppings for the soup. I think this is potato soup because there's little croutons and little pieces of pancetta. So there's some kind of soup. We have some sort of ravioli. Oh, that smells so good. What? A chicken meal on some kind of sweet potato mash, and there are grilled vegetables. It smells so good. Oh, there's a bag of artisanal breads. And then there's a dessert. Can you see how pretty that is? Is this ice cream? No, what is that? It's a ricotta and pear tartlet. Okay, so I'm just now seeing that it says payment required on the receipt. I didn't pay, I just took this. Sorry, anxiety just filled my body. Okay, it's fine. Let's get into it so I can chow down. January, how did it start? Great question. I was still riding the high of the olive oil story. I think one of the first things I did this new year was do a news story. WTRF and Wheeling had me on, and they ran a whole story on me. It was very nice. I got a really nice press junket. It was awesome. And then other than that, I stayed in Wheeling longer because my brother-in-law Ronan was getting baptized in the Greek Orthodox Church. You're lucky to be baptized in the Greek Orthodox Church. Megan gonna be your godmother. I didn't get to be his godmother. Anyway, it's fine. I digress. If anyone needs a godparent, I know I don't look like a godparent right now, but just like trust, okay? I have a heart of gold. And she's humble. After the baptism, I got on a plane. Jake and I got on a plane together to come back to New York City. And this is where things went south. When I said I thought 2025 was a bad year, the first half of the year was pretty rough. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So we get on our plane, and our plane almost wrecks, okay? I'm not even kidding. Due to the turbulent turbles, we're getting tousled. We're getting turbled and tousled. And here's what a plane's supposed to be doing, right? Our plane keeps doing this. And I said, that's not how that's supposed to work. As we're trying to land, like we look out the window, we see the runway getting really, like we're getting very close to the ground. And as soon as we're about to touch down, our wings are doing this. So before you know it, boom, you hear all of this noise as all of the engines click into overdrive. And then we are shot back up into the sky at such a scary angle. It felt like we were on a roller coaster. And apparently that it was too dangerous to land with the wind conditions. So we shoot back up into the air, and I was already panicking. I felt so sick. And Jake and I were like holding each other's hands. And I just pointed, I said, Jake, vomit bag. And he went, huh? And then he grabbed the vomit bag, and then I puked into this bag. And then I wrapped it up at the top like a little burrito. And I held it like this. And then so we're on the plane, and the plane's shaking, and I'm holding my puke bag. And then I look over at Jake, because usually I'm scared on every flight, and Jake always reassures me, like, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. So I look over at him, and I go, Jake? And he goes, we're cooked. We're so cooked. And I said, oh, no! Because if Jake's scared, then I'm scared. And then finally, we did a big go-around, and then successfully landed the plane, but it was so scary. And then once we got off the plane, it was silent. We landed silent. We all stood up in silence, grabbed our bags in silence. We walked off the plane into the airport. Halfway through the terminal, I'm still shaking, and Jake goes, why do you still have the puke bag? And I go, I don't know. And he goes, throw that away. And I go, okay. And then we got in an Uber, and the whole ride back to our apartment was silent. It was crazy. Then, if I thought, I was still trying to be like, is this a sign for 2025? I don't know. Things will go up from here. As soon as we get back to our apartment, I'm expecting all of these PR boxes and gift boxes from brands who are sending me gifts for my virality. And I had been robbed. All of my mail in the mailroom had been ripped open, and people took my stuff. So then I cried. That was great. And then on top of that, I said, yay, I'm successful, finally. And then TikTok said it was being banned. So then I got really depressed. But luckily we made it through that. What else happened in January? I don't know. I have this picture of my brother-in-law, Nick, for some reason, saved in January. February. We're back in the theatrical world of New York City, and we're developing a new musical called The King's Critique, written by our dear friend Eric Holmes and Nat Zagree. It's a super fun story. We spent most of the year working on The King's Critique. You'll hear more about it in a second, but we did this huge workshop, so that was super fun. I made my first big girl purchase from money I've made on TikTok. I bought myself an iMac. Is that what it's called? iMac? I bought myself an iMac to help with editing and have I edited on it? No. But we watch a lot of TV on that sucker. And ow, my eye! And let me tell you, great purchase. Oh, for Valentine's Day. Oh my God. I love Valentine's Day. I love love. I love love. I really do. Jake likes to treat me nice for Valentine's Day. Jake always treats me nice. His love language is gifts, like gift giving. And that's how he expresses love. He loves giving gifts. So every time he goes outside, he comes back with a gift for me. And I'm always like, Jake. For Valentine's Day, he booked us a couple's photo shoot with our friend Jonah, who's an amazing actor, singer, dancer, and also photographer. If anyone's looking in the city, I'll hook you up with Jonah. Jonah Hale Photography. And then the first half of the photo shoot was us just being silly, goofy, us couple photo shoot. And for the second half of the photo shoot, I got to do brand photos for this new brand I was launching, a la post olive oil girl madness. And at the same time, February was a big launch month for this brand because I was trying to launch a podcast, which I did an initial launch. We had a huge launch party and everything. Super awesome. A lot of friends came. We had gift bags for all of the guests, everyone. But then I did not get enough views for the podcast. So it got delayed until very recently. We'll come back to that. Oh, and in the midst of my launch party, which was super fun, my alma mater, Wheeling Park High School, did their New York trip, their annual New York City trip for the theater kids. And they asked, for the theater kids, and I did a master class with them, and it was super duper fun. And then that ended up in the paper back in Wheeling. So that was very funny, a very funny surprise. I was very sick in March. I didn't do much. I didn't go outside much. I have a lot of random things saved in March. The only... Anyway, the only things that happened in March that stood out in my camera roll is Smash on Broadway. Apparently we were accidental investors in that. So we didn't realize that we were investors on that. Paperwork went through years ago. We didn't know it went through. And then congrats, you are another producer on Broadway. So we went to see Smash. Super fun. And Jake and Casey did a holler show in Cape Cod. And then that was really fun because Meg, who sponsored these 8 meals today, there's an Airbnb across from her house. So there were people staying in her house. There were people staying in the Airbnb. A lot of our friends from the city came. And everyone got to go see the holler show. It was quite fun. Everyone was hanging out in Cape Cod together. It was really fun. I love April in New York City. It's one of my favorite times because I love rain. I love rainy New York City. It's just so magical and classic and timeless and romantic. And then Easter season, we had American Easter at our dear friend Mo, who is my friend Thea's aunt, who we've met over the years and become friends with her and her entire family. For Easter, I have to say I love being Greek Orthodox because our services are just so beautiful and like mystical and ancient and like really meaningful, and you like feel like while you're there it's like a you feel it if that makes sense. And one of my favorite services of the year is midnight service on Easter, or leading into Easter, I should say. And we were running super late because one of Jake's dear friends, it was their birthday on that Saturday. And so we were at this birthday party and we were trying to make it back to my neighborhood and we lost track of time. One of our phones was dead. We didn't know what was going on. And I was getting really sad. I was like, I don't want to miss midnight service. And we said, wait a second. We're already downtown at the bottom of Manhattan. There's a church over at Ground Zero. Let's just go to that church. And so we ran over there, and because that church is so small, most of the people for the service stand outside, and we all had these candles lit, and the church itself is so pretty because it was just, the original church was destroyed in 9/11, and because of the tragedy, Greece donated slabs of marble, the same slabs of marble that were the Parthenon was made from. Grammar. The marble is carved so thinly that light shines through it. So it was the most magical thing, like being there midnight, being at Ground Zero midnight on Easter. Everyone was holding candles, singing Christ is risen, truly he is risen. It was so magical. It was so magical. And Jake was being such a good little boyfriend. And I was getting very sad at the service because I don't have a lot of like Greek friends here in the city, and I was getting really sad because everyone was walking around and like meeting their families outside and like Christos anesti, alithos anesti, blah blah blah. And I got really sad and I was crying holding this candle, and sweet little Jake Guthrie walks over before I know what's happening. I see it happen in slow motion. Jake walks over holding his little candle. He walks over to a group of people and goes, "Hi, are you Greek? My girlfriend has no friends. Do you want to be friends with her?" And then the person he asked wasn't Greek, so then it was really awkward. And we're like, "Oh, it's okay." It was really funny though. It was really sweet. Jake's a keeper. May. That's gala season in New York City. I'm a fancy schmancy Broadway producer. We got galas to go to, people to see, places to be, fancy food to eat. This is so funny. I'm having my own little, oh no! I forgot about my random sausage thing from Starbucks too. Oh shoot. We had a lot of like work events and events to go to in May. A lot of theatrical events, New York Arts and Culture. Red Bull Theater had their gala. We went to the New York Philharmonic. I think it was their gala and like opening night, and Sutton Foster sang, and I rented a dress for that sucker, but I got the wrong size. And as soon as we sat down for dinner, the back of my dress popped all the way open. I'm talking like crack was shown, if you know what I'm saying. And so I panicked. I was sitting there and I was like, So I had to text Jake. I said, "Jake, my bum is exposed and I need you to help me." So then he let me wear his jacket for the rest of the night. So every time the wind blew, I went, "Ooh, refreshing." I'm fancy. Our dear friend Bridget did a cabaret in Cape Cod. So I hopped off to the Cape to go support Bridget and help her do her show, help produce her show. And she's just fantastic. And her version of Don't Rain on My Parade, Parade! We were seeing a lot of theater. We saw some shows too. I should mention the shows. You know, May is kind of about Tony's prep because the Tonys are in June, so we like to see all the shows so we can make sure our voting gets in on time. And then at the very end of May, I went to my sister Kelsey's bachelorette party in Disney World. I haven't been to Disney World since high school, so it's been a minute. But we went to Florida, which was hysterical. All of our Uber drivers were crazy people. Crazy people. There was this one woman who talked like this. She goes, yeah, kids. Oh, yeah, my dad back in the 80s. My dad was the CEO of Disney, yeah. And then we got to Disney, Epcot. She's like, oh, yeah, I've never been inside. I've seen... And then she was like, talking about... She's like, yeah, I've driven for 37 years. I've only been licensed for the last 5. It's fine. I just got pulled over 3 times last night for the same reason. Y'all girls want some body spray? And we were like, what is happening? And then another driver who picked us up, we got in her car and there was like all of these like toy snakes everywhere and all these signs and like crocodiles and stuff. We're like, what is this? She goes, oh yeah, I get hired by Disney to remove snakes and alligators from pools and from toilets on the property. And we said, huh? And then we look in the back of the trunk and there's all of those snake bins back there, the tubs that they put snakes in. And we were like, what? And then she starts telling us these stories. She's like, oh yeah, I've been bitten by a shark. I've been mauled by a bear. I've been bitten by all the snakes you can think of. I do all this stuff. I'm going scuba diving with sharks in the Great Barrier Reef next month. And we were like hearing all these awful stories. And someone with us said, well, what's the most painful thing you've experienced out of all those? And she says, kidney stones. Also, I need to point out that like Kelsey wanted, the only thing she really cared about the morning of Epcot was we got there early to rope drop the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride. So we're there. None of us have eaten. We just listened to this lady talk about body sprays for 45 minutes. As soon as the rope drops, we run to this ride. We get in line. Stomach's empty. And I'm in line with Lexi. And I say, hey, Lexi, you eat anything today? And she goes, no. I said, okay, me neither. Yeah. I said, hey, Lexi, when's the last time you were on a roller coaster? And she thinks and she goes, oh, shit. And I go, oh, shit. Because it's been like 10 years. So at like 9 in the morning, we're on this roller coaster. And it starts, and I remembered how much I love roller coasters and how fun this was. I was like, oh my gosh, this is magnificent. This is amazing. We go down the first hill. Woo! We get down the second hill. Woo! Then there's a loop. We go, woo! Oh no. We are so... And then I had to lock in. In the middle of that loop, I felt my pupils dilate 3 sizes, and I felt my butt clench up into my chest cavity. And I said, I have to lock in more than I've ever locked in my entire life right now, or I will puke. You remember the 21st night of September. June, we went to the Tony Awards. Woo! We also hosted the Art Lab Theater Gala that we do. It's not really a gala. We invite all of our Broadway friends, off-Broadway friends, directors, writers, actors, musicians, and then it's kind of like a sharing of ideas. We want good people to meet good people to make good art. So we had our 3rd annual Toast to Broadway. It was super duper fun. I got to do a speech. I got to introduce Alex Joseph Grayson. He was one of our award winners that evening. Also, June was fun. There was a double picnic day, which is always fun. I love a picnic. Some of our friends from Wheeling came to visit, and they texted all the other Wheeling folks and said picnic time. So we had a picnic in Central Park. Not all of the Wheeling people, I should say. Some of us were missing, but we had a lovely little picnic. And then that afternoon, we went over to Astoria to a second park to go to another picnic, which was our dear friends Heidi and Casey's engagement party. And it was so beautiful, and like all of these white cloths and linens and tans and like this beautiful fruit spread and this beautiful cake, and just they're getting married this next year and we're very excited for them. Jake and I are in the bridal party and we're ready. I will show you all of that wedding vlogged. July, which is true summer here in New York City. Of course, we did a very chill 4th of July, just Jake and myself here in the apartment. I made hot dogs, hamburgers, baked beans, all that good stuff. Right after 4th of July is Jake's birthday, so we had a lovely birthday for Jake. We went to the batting cages. We kind of just posted up at a pub nearby that we love, and all of his friends came, and it was truly such a fun night. I just love Jake. I hope he has the best birthday ever. We also do an annual beach day with our lovely friend group where we take the Rockaway ferry to Rockaway Beach for the day, and we set up, and I always make a bunch of sandwiches, and we all like hang out on the boat and get over there and spend the day at the beach. And there's this bar over there that does pina coladas, and so we hang out there, and then we take the boat back, and it's always the most magical summer day. So we had our lovely beach day with all of our lovely friends. And then after beach day, I decided to peace out for the rest of summer. I went back to Wheeling. I went to Wheeling early to go to our church's Greek festival that they had at the end of July. And so I got to see a little bit of the Greek Fest, which is always a delight. You've seen the vlogs. But I got to hang out with everyone and relax for a bit before August's craziness took off. August was my She's an Actor month. I had 2 shows booked this year, and both of them were in August. So the first half of the month, I was in Wheeling preparing for my annual Wheeling, West Virginia, A Night with Megan Chocolate's Cabaret. The title of this year's show was Megan Chocolate's Kind of Famous, and I told the story about how over the years, growing up in theater and doing theater training and acting training, I was always kind of taught to emulate your idols and like figure out who you're most like and just follow the example set before you. But at the end of the day, I gained the most success by just being myself. And after years of trying to sound like Barbara or Judy or Liza, the most successful I was is when I posted the silly version of me online, and this is like the most authentic me you're gonna get. So I was on the news again to promote my Wheeling show, so that was fun. I love WTRF. They're so kind to me. Shout out to Stephen Moore, one of their anchors there. I have this picture of Jake drowning, for what that's worth. Kelsey's bridal shower was also this month, so we got to go back and do all of that. It was really funny because all the boys were helping in the kitchen. Jake was there also helping. It was very cute. As soon as the Wheeling show was over, we came back to the city the next day, switched out our luggage, went to sleep. The next morning, we got on a train to go to Cape Cod again for like the 80th time this year. And then we were there for almost a full month doing shows. So we had 2 workshops that we did. The first workshop was a week-long workshop of The King's Critique. That's right. It was our second workshop of the year with that show. And then after that first week, we switched shows and did a different show for a 2-week workshop. And then funnily enough, I got put into that show as a last-minute replacement because some of our actors dropped out. So then I got to act, so I was very excited. To kick off September, we finished up that 2-week workshop. We did presentations of that second musical we were doing. Came back to New York, immediately jumped back into theater event mode because it was the American Theater Wing Gala, which is like the biggest gala of the year. Jake took me to my first ever Mets game. That was fun. For me, one of the things that truly kicks off fall is our friend Thea's birthday weekend. It's in the end of September, and she always plans a soup night, our annual friendship soup night, where we make this beautiful butternut squash soup, and we make all of the accoutrement, all the fixins, and then we just like feast and like watch a fall movie and just like have a lovely fall picnic, and it's just the most magical day. At the very end of September, I hopped back to Wheeling to make 5,000 Greek cookies for Kelsey's wedding, which then transitions us into October. October was the first weekend was Kelsey and Ronan's wedding, brother Iggy. So we had lovely wedding weekend. I did see somebody's butthole on the day of the wedding. I'm not going to share who, but truly that's my takeaway. Great wedding, great wedding. There is a vlog coming of that wedding day, so get really excited for that. I've been busy. And then the other exciting thing that happened in October is I finally got to relaunch my podcast. Yes, I know, 8 months later. Don't check the math on that, just keep going. I just started self-producing it, so it's a little rough. The quality, not great, but I have fun. And I'm doing it as a low-pressure artistic endeavor because I forget the exact quote, but it's something like, don't wait for a perfect product because perfection doesn't exist. You just have to put yourself out there and put your effort out there and you'll get better as you go along. So I really adopted that mentality. And then we had Halloween. We were back at Thea and Cam's house for a lovely Park Slope Halloween. The trick-or-treaters down there are no joke. They attack the stoop. We're throwing out candy. We're throwing out candy. Throwing out candy. November! I can't remember. Oh, I was sick most of November. It just happened. See, my brain empty. My brain smooth. We had Isabel's birthday party, and then I remember immediately I got sick. I was sick for like 2 weeks with whatever sickness is currently going around New York City. And I was down for the count. I did not do much. I was in bed most of the month. And then that led up to our Friendsgiving with our dear friend group. So again, we were down at Thea and Cam's in Park Slope to do our lovely Friendsgiving. I brought, what did I bring? Green bean casserole, mashed taters, and this like charcuterie for our park picnic that kicks off the day. So we had this lovely magical day of being in Prospect Park with our friends, like making a leaf pile. Then we went back and all cooked together and just shared food and broke bread and like, oh, I just love it. I love it. And then after Friendsgiving, we had a few more. What else happened in November? Right before I left for Thanksgiving with my family, we had a girls' night with the girly pops. That was lovely. And then I went back to Wheeling for Thanksgiving. That's where I was this whole past week. We had a lovely time. Lexi and Nick could not join us, but the other siblings were present. And that's been the year. And that brings us to December. I know you're probably thinking, Megan, you just talked a lot. What do we have to look forward to this month throughout your Vlogmas adventure? Great question. I'm quite excited because my lineup of events is a fantastic mix of my West Virginia life, my New York City life, my Greek life. There are so many exciting things. I'm very excited for this Vlogmas season. So I hope that you get excited. I hope that you're revved up, ready to rock and roll. I need to eat this food. Should I take this to see Wicked? No, Megan, calm down. I can't do that. I'm going to wait till Jake's back. Jake gets back into town tomorrow, and then I'm going to go see Wicked with Jake. Maybe not tomorrow, but we'll see what the week has in store. There's a lot of movies we have to see. There's a lot of festive fun we have to go do. So thank you so much for joining me. Wow, it's great to be back on YouTube. That's all I can say. I love you all. Happy holidays. Merry Vlogmas.